G'day, Charles Lindsay from The Professionals. I'm sitting down today with Hamish French. Hamish is a leading retailer in Wellington with 3 outlets and multiple outlets throughout the country. He's the director of the Shoe Clinic. Thanks for coming in, Hamish.
Pleasure, Charles.
Yeah. There's been a lot of negative talk recently about the demise of Wellington retail, restaurants, whatever. How are you feeling it?
Definitely, Wellington has had a bit of a hit, I guess, with some of the government departments cutting back in numbers and so forth. But generally speaking, for our stores, we're really happy. I mean, as far as I can talk from just my own perspective, business has been good, and we're trading really well. We're trading well ahead of where we were before COVID, but admittedly, the boom out of COVID was big, and so some of those highs we're not able to replicate at the moment. But certainly, if you go back to sort of 2019, 2018, the way we're trading at the moment is certainly well ahead of that, and so overall we're pretty happy.
Is there a distinct difference between like an outlet in, say, Auckland compared to Wellington?
I think Wellington is definitely, because we've got 17 stores around the country, we do get a little bit of an overview of probably what's happening from sort of, our furthest store south is Invercargill, right up to Albany on the North Shore in Auckland. And we do get a little bit of an overview of probably what's happening in around the traps. And certainly I would say Wellington is a little bit tougher. Not dramatically, but yeah, I think Wellington is maybe a little bit tougher than some of the other outlets around the country, and we're finding a lot of our more rural based stores are doing really well, and that might be, at a rough guess, something to do with like the Fonterra sale going through and the stores that are typically dealing with some of the farming community.
With the talk about the Lambton Quay upgrade, I know you're in Willow Street, but will that have a significant impact on you?
Yeah, it's hard to know until it happens, whether it's going to happen. I don't know, so that's where I'm probably not that political when it comes to that sort of thing. As far as getting, I haven't been involved really closely with it, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. But at the end of the day, we just very much have the attitude of we'll deal with whatever comes along, and we've just got to worry about what's going on in your own backyard, i.e. that we're doing a good job to our customers that walk through our doors and sorting that.
Any plans to expand over the next 12 months?
Ideally, yes. Not in the Wellington region per se. We have a store obviously in Willow Street, and a store out in High Street in Lower Hutt, and then also in the North City Mall out in Porirua. So we're sort of fairly well covered in the Wellington region. And also, actually, we have one in Masterton too. So in that sort of Wellington Wairarapa region, we're well covered. But there are spots around New Zealand where ideally we would like to get some extra stores happening at some stages. There is room to expand, but because we're a franchise organisation, that's more about if we get people essentially approaching us to do a franchise in one of those areas.
One of the other reasons I've got you in today is you're an avid property investor with properties. Do you get these professionally managed, or do you look after them yourself?
I'm an avid believer in that. My day-to-day thing is obviously shoe clinic and retail. So I leave. I think getting your properties managed by a company that knows what they're doing is definitely the way that I would recommend going.
How have the properties performed over the last 12 months?
Probably not the greatest, as far as if you lose a tenant at the moment, you do probably need to take a little hit on the rent or so forth, and that's just probably, I would imagine, the Wellington market. But at the same time, I'm in it for the long term, and so from that perspective, it hasn't overly bothered me. But at the same time, it isn't probably the greatest time as far as being a landlord is concerned, I would imagine.
There's been talk of the market coming back, and some people say 25, others say 27% decrease in value. Would you look at that and think it's not a bad time to buy?
Certainly, if you've got the ability to buy right now, I would have thought it probably is a really good time to buy on that basis. So yeah, I would think right now, if you've got the ability to invest, it would be a really good time.
Well, when you buy an investment property, what do you look for?
Generally, my rental properties are generally new builds, and that's something that I've found works for me, in that they're generally low maintenance, and they're warm, and they're built to all the current sort of regulations and standards of healthy homes, etc. So for me, I tend to look for new builds, and quite often off the plans, so that you can get in early and hopefully secure yourself a reasonably good price on the basis of getting them off the plans.
You got any tips for anyone out there looking to invest?
Well, I think you just got to. My main tip would be is don't do it for the short term, because if you can't ride through some of the rougher times, that's when, you know, often you will need to maybe sell a property at a loss, and that's obviously not ideal. So my thoughts would be invest what you can on the basis of that you're looking to stay in it on the long term.
Yeah, good advice. Good advice. Thank you for coming in.
No, pleasure.
In a brief chat. Just remember, I'm Charles Lindsay from The Professionals, Hamish French from the Shoe Clinic. Any questions about real estate, have a look at the email address on the video and give me a bell, or on my mobile number, which will be there. Thanks again, Hamish.
No worries. Thanks, Charles.
Cheers.
Lovely.